I hit the
Look
wrong
at that
button.
Look
Wrong
at that
button.
ClickerBait intro.
It's so good.
Wow.
All right, we're in here. We're
real. We're real. Chat, is this real?
So we had already started the intro and going live stuff, and I was like, oh, I forgot to tell Kayla something.
Suspense, leaving me in suspense.
I know, right?
Jake twitching, what up? We got so much representation in the chat already. I just have to call it out. We got CC in the chat, of course. We got Matt from Re in the chat. We got Jake twitching. Just so much love already. Thank you guys.
Thanks. We really need it. We're 38 minutes late. And, you know, hey, the first goal I have soon is to make sure that we're never late again. But this is our first time streaming with a little bit of a updated setup for both of our ends. I was trying to help Kayla get this camera set up, and we're still missing an SD card. It's somewhere.
We are.
Who knows? It's just
we'll
like
get there.
All the cables for my phone. I don't know where they're at when I need them. But regardless, we're here, and I'm going to share with you what I was trying to share with you before we started going live. Okay.
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready.
So, you know, we've just a debrief before we get into The Last of Us season 2 trailer. Me and Kayla have not talked like this in like 2 months. Like, I feel like for real, in like the last at least 1 month. We were on a show, Spotlight Games, right? Just because the last 2 months were like a blur to me. So I remember we did that, and I think that's the last episode we've done together. And then since, so many games have come out, been playing a few of them, haven't beaten anything. Then The Last of Us Day happened, and there's this awesome new trailer. That's what we're here to do today, is like go into that. But also what happened during that time was PlayStation decided, you know, hey, to come out with this really super cool version of the PlayStation 5 Pro, and then a slim, an amazing controller, 30th anniversary collection, Kayla. Do you remember? Yes, I shared this with you.
It looks amazing. And you said you had to.
So
you told me you had to.
I had to get it. And I, you know, unfortunately, like I was working at the time. And on top of that, I was like doing a meeting situation. So I'm like on my phone trying to get into the PlayStation store to try to buy this thing. They're limited, Kayla. Of course. It's like they're only like 12,000 and some change being made. So not a lot. So I knew it was going to be tough.
Wait, I actually didn't know that. I didn't know it was like a limited run.
Yeah. Well, you know, the 20th anniversary PlayStation 4 was way more limited. I forgot how many of those were actually made, but way less. And you can see those on eBay now for like 10 grand. It's pretty crazy.
Wow, that's insane.
I might be exaggerating, but they're expensive. So there was a few more of these. So I was like, I was feeling optimistic and trying to get in there. Was unable to acquire one. But luckily, we have a lot of friends. Me and Kayla are, you know, we have friends in the real world. Thank God it's not just us here, I don't think. But we have this, you know, our Destiny crew's pretty close. And I think all three of them in our group, except Chad, because I don't know if Chad really wanted the color. He wants the white version because that can match all his stuff. All his consoles and things are white.
The aesthetic.
Yeah, I get it. So he didn't go for it, but everybody else went for it and got one. Like, got lucky and got the 30th anniversary PS5 Pro. I know this is a long story, and I said we will keep it simple, but I need to explain.
I want to know. I'm hungry.
So
feed me.
Audrey also tried, was unsuccessful, but got a controller, which is cool because they had the controllers you could get, like in the gray.
The controllers were really cool.
They look really neat. But so, you know, neither one of us was able to secure one, but luckily another friend in our Destiny family, Dallas, was able to acquire one, and he wanted us to be able to buy it from him. Obviously, he's not charging us like $10K, thank God. Wouldn't have been able to do that. But yeah, he's letting us buy his pre-order. And thoughtful. I have something I have to tell you. I haven't told you yet. Dallas is now our sole sponsor for the rest of our podcast existence. Hope that's okay. So basically, every episode or every piece of content that I create, I'm always going to thank Dallas for
Sponsored by Dallas.
sponsored by Dallas, the provider.
That's hilarious.
Of my PS5 Pro 30th anniversary edition. So this episode of ClickerBait is brought to us by Dallas. He does not have to ever subscribe to a Patreon that we have. He's in unlimited access to this content, and he can text or call me anytime.
You get this for free, Dallas.
If we ever start charging, you get them all for free. I will put them on a DVD and mail them to you.
Speaking of, Jerica, I don't know if you see these people giving you this love in the chat, which I know you planned on talking about this a little bit today, but Game Over Cholo said, "Hola, I heard Jerica is going to be doing this full time now. How can we help?" Wow.
Listen, all I need help with is making sure that the mic's on. Hold me accountable to getting this going on time. And yeah, like I'll definitely be a little bit more, I guess, vocal on social media, just letting everyone know what I'm doing, what I'm playing. You know, I got a few plans, and I do want to save our next like jkgames episode to sort of highlight the next steps in what I'm doing. Cause on the 21st, I'll be officially like part-time at my job, allowing me to do this way like 75% of the time. That's the goal. Like 25%, you know, still making some money. And then the other 75% is doing this kind of stuff. I should really do my math, cause I also need time to poop and pee and eat, take care of the dog.
And actually play the games.
Show Audrey affection. Those kind of things. Visit my family. So obviously, like maybe 65%. The 10% is off that.
Life, work, fun balance, you know.
But it'd be cool. I'm really excited. I got a lot of really great ideas. And Kayla's I know going to be also very excited because like this is still going to be our baby and what we're doing.
But you're going to be doing your own things too.
So like there's going to
be...
Yeah, it won't just be one episode or 2 episodes a month now. Like we will have an influx of things that you can tune in for. I'll go into that on our next episode because I do have some stuff in the books for this month. And I know next Sunday, we will be joining Respawning Fire. And, I will be. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to not include you, but I know Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is not the thing that's on your mind right now.
Jerica, what do you mean? This is my bread of my life. I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, when did you start playing?
Well, surprise! I'm just kidding. No, but no, I'm really excited for you, Jerica.
We'll be on that. I'll be doing that next Sunday too. So that'd be exciting.
Yeah, what time?
You would ask me that. Is in my calendar. I think it's like 8.
Coming soon.
I think it's 8. I think it's 8 o'clock. So, yeah.
Very exciting. Ooh. And thank you guys in the chat for like, I know I'm really excited for Jerica. I know you guys are really excited for Jerica. And we hope to, if you're watching now, obviously you're watching us on ClickerBait, which we hopefully will be doing a lot more of next year, depending on when this show actually comes out. I know me and Jerica have talked about we want to do like we did with the first season, which you can always go back and listen to on any streaming service. We have technically it's a completely separate podcast, ClickerBait, but all of our socials are the same for it. You can still find us talking about it on JK Games Podcast. This one, we're just going to dive into the trailer. Cognitive Clips in the chat said, do all your pooping at work.
You're not wrong. Need to start doing that more often.
Exclusively there.
That's the only place I go.
But Jerica, aside from all your other endeavors that you have going on, do you want to touch on like what you've been playing recently? Since we haven't gotten to talk, me and Jerica haven't gotten to catch up.
Listen, I've been talking way too much. You guys I want to hear from you first.
Oh,
Kayla.
Oh,
are you ready? I'm throwing the ball back to you. What have you been doing?
I got you. Guys, I have honestly been playing a lot. Like I haven't necessarily been solely focused on one game, except I can't remember if I updated on the last episode. My life has also been a blur these past couple months. I beat Life is Strange Before the Storm. One of the things I've been working on, like one of my kind of like side projects is catching up on all the Life is Strange games so that I can play Double Exposure when it comes out, which I'm super excited for on October 29th. The only reason I knew that off the top of my head is because I had to look it up recently when me and Jericho were talking the other day. But I finished Before the Storm, and I also finished the Awesome Adventures of Captain Planet, I think is what the like really short
I feel like
mini game.
Yeah, it's like a it's a whole little story, right? It's like a download. Yeah. It's like a I forget what you would call that. DLC to that.
Yeah, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit.
Yes.
Ooh, Jake Twitchin just said, I just played Before the Storm episode 2 last night for the first time. It's good. It's tough. Life is Strange, not for the faint of heart, and not for like, you know, it's not necessarily a super light game, right? But that's not why I play it. I play it because the narrative structure of the games and like they're beautiful. I've been playing the remastered ones, of course. They came out like I think in like 2020. The remastered ones.
Yeah, does it? It's so long ago now.
It is, yeah. Like that's crazy to think that that's been so long, but they did come out with the remastered versions, and so I've been playing those. Game Over Cholo says, love Life is Strange, though True Colors was a drag for me to finish. Oh, that's sad. I love True Colors. But also I get it. Like it's a little bit different than the rest of them. At least.
It's definitely a little slower as far as like the build on what's happening next. Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that though. Respect. But anyways, so I finished that one, finished the shorter, it took me like 2 hours to finish. It's a full game, but I finished the Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. And all this takes place in like the same universe, not necessarily like directly so far that I've seen impacted. So I just started Life is Strange 2, which is the one with the like two brothers. So far, I've cried like 4 times already.
Yeah, that one's a tearjerker.
That's what I'm noticing. As soon as this is not a spoiler. As soon as I saw that there was like a dog in the game, I was like, oh no. Oh no.
Brace yourselves.
No. Trauma. Sad. I can't handle it. But anyways, it's really good though so far. Like the way that the sound, like the music is great as always with Life is Strange. The just like sound dynamics, like the leaves crunching. It's very much a good fall game. Didn't know it was going to take place. It takes place during like Halloween. But so I've been playing that. And then I also have tried out Tiny Glade, which I posted about on our Instagram. I know you've tried that too, right?
Yeah, Jericho? It was on my wish list. So when I saw that you were playing all the, like, you know, Kayla would get on there and like post on socials like, oh, I'm playing this. And I was like, I didn't know she was playing that. I've been playing that. Yeah. We haven't even talked about it. So
no, we haven't.
I was like, I was so proud of myself because I'm like, this is such a Kayla-ass game, and I just didn't even text you about it. I was just playing it. That's the same day that I also got really into Pressure Wash Simulator. That was just a day.
Oh my gosh.
I think I was just in the mood. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's hilarious. I saw on your Twitter that you were playing that, and I actually have had that on my list too. You're right. This is a Kayla game for sure, but I do think that you have to be in a specific mood for it because it definitely is like there's not an objective. You're literally it's like very much a creative outlet. Mm-hmm. And I am like a perfectionist, so I spend a lot of time like making sure that it's like perfectly like square whatever I'm doing. But it does definitely create an environment for you to be more like freeform. Like there's not like it is cool though because the more that you play around and explore, the more you realize like certain combinations can make different things. Yeah. Basically, if you don't know what we're talking about, it's called Tiny Glade. It came out a few like weeks ago.
Maybe might be
very recently.
I almost like let me pull up a trailer, but I'm gonna get into the weeds, so I'm not gonna do it. Tiny Glade, you should take a look at it. It is it's very unique. It's like it's a different type of builder. Like to Kayla's point, there's not really any objectives. You sort of just like go in there and be okay with like messing up and see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very much like whimsical, like castles, like fantasy type vibe. Last thing, and then I'm done. I did tell Jericho about this one a little bit. don't ask me how I found this game, but let me put you on to, I don't know if you guys have been around for a while and know when I used to do like my indie game of like the week, but let me put you onto this game, Egonomics, okay? It is so much fun. I was trying to look up the developer, but either way, what you need to know is that it is really fun. It's like a roguelike town like builder game where basically you're using these like gnomes that do certain tasks, and it's turn-based too. So when I was explaining it to Jericho when we did get to talk about it, I was saying it kind of reminds me conceptually of like Cult of the Lamb. So like you have these like dungeons, and in this game it's like you go down into these caves, kind of like Stardew Valley too, and you collect these resources with your gnomes, and then you take them back up to your town, and it's just like my perfect type of like veg out and just like play a game, because it's just like scratches this part of my brain. I really like any type of like resource management like that. And it's like cute too. There's these little gnomes. You unlock different types of gnomes that do different things. And then you also get to build this town, and like there is a goal. Like there's not really a story necessarily, but there is like goals that you get to, and you unlock different things. So that's all that I've been playing. Sorry to ramble.
No, I think it's excellent. Wait, once again,
this game also came out recently too. It came out like last month.
Yeah, I think it was like last week. No, the gnome Gnomics. Did I say it right? Is that what the title was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's all for me.
Yeah.
You've been playing a lot too, right? I know you said you played Tiny Glade, Power Wash Simulator.
I did.
You got back into Starfield?
Listen. You know, maybe we've
been trying a little bit of everything.
I'm just gonna real quick, y'all. We have not talked a lot in like we said, like 2 months. So briefly, before we get into this Last of Us trailer, if you're here, you know about our other podcast, so you're probably fine with us talking about games. But I will say, so the reason I got back into Starfield because the DLC just came out, Shattered Space, and I was really sort of thinking about. I was like, I'll check out the DLC. I'll download it, play around with it. But since I've been back into Starfield, there's mods now, Kayla, like official mods. The game runs much better. And let me tell you, I downloaded the DLC and, you know, going guns blazing into it, thinking, ooh, I'm going to go start this mission as soon as I can, get into it. I do one mission in the DLC, which was really interesting at first. I'm still fine with it. I haven't touched the DLC since. I got distracted by another mission, Kayla. I'm in my third New Game Plus playthrough, and I've done everything else except play the DLC, and I'm having such a blast. I'm like, I love this game. You know, it has like not mediocre, but to okay reviews. Like I can't remember what it was on Metacritic at the end of it all, but like it wasn't a great game, and it didn't like reinvent the wheel, but it's a Bethesda game, and I love space, and the whole aesthetic of the game is really great. Like I just love exploring in that world. And I've just started playing Starfield because of the DLC, and I've only played one mission of the DLC. That's all I did the other day is just play Starfield.
That's fun. I know that like when it first came out, you're into it, and I liked it when it first came out, but my computer, I just don't think is quite where it needs to be to run it as efficiently as I would like.
The game's also like not the most efficient thing either. It's sort of like, you know, Outlaws, having a little bit of a strugg to run it on PC.
Same, yeah,
for
sure.
All right, that's all I got. Yeah.
Thank you for the game update.
That's a little brief one.
Jake Twitchin said it's a mini JKGames. Woo woo. Yes. We're so glad you guys don't mind. But don't worry. We have plenty more to talk about on our, I think we said we're probably going to do our, don't quote us, but maybe our next episode be focused on just like new games. Me and her have both been playing a lot of new games as they come out. So, and there's so much coming, like so much exciting things. Game Over Cholo said, what are your game of the year picks, everyone? I can't even like think about that right now. There's so much, like so much coming out, came out. We always do like episodes centered around Game of the Year, so don't worry, that'll come too.
Let's definitely revisit. Let's revisit too, like what our Game of the Year is so far after October. I think that'd be a good plan.
Oh yeah. Absolutely, we definitely will. But do we want to dive in to this trailer, guys?
Let's do it.
Do we want to dive in?
I mean,
Everybody
everyone's probably watched it here. If you're cool with it, Kayla, we've watched it. Do you want that way? We're not just spending extra time. We'll just cut it scene by scene here. Unless you want me just to play it. Do you want me to play it once through or just?
No, I think we go scene by scene.
We go scene by scene. We're gonna split it up here. We're not gonna play and talk about it. We're just gonna start from the beginning. So I'll make sure this works. Make sure I click the right button this time. Yeah, that one will have a picture. Okay.
If you guys weren't aware, I'm sure you are if you're watching this, but on The Last of Us Day, we got the full, it still says teaser, which is interesting.
That is strange.
I guess it's a teaser of the season.
Yeah. Well, it was a 2-minute long teaser, so maybe we'll get more. I just remember there was only was there only 2 trailers for season 1? Maybe,
I don't remember.
I don't know. Huh.
I know that so me and Jerica did a whole episode of ClickerBait on just the snippet of a teaser trailer that we got of this trailer.
Yeah.
So we did talk about some of it already. I think for the most part, we might have to go over some of that stuff again, just kind of depending, but there's a lot of new stuff to look at and to talk about too. So we have hopes, we have dreams, we have...
I can't wait to talk about this with you because there's some things that threw me for a loop a little bit, so...
I'm ready.
Oh, you want to start or what?
So I'm going to pause here because, obviously, we were all thinking, and, it would have been too easy for us to say, Catherine O'Hara's going to be playing, I can't think of their name right now. The people in the woods. Seraphites.
Oh, yeah.
She's gonna be the leader of the Seraphites, right? We finally get to see that character and their backstory, maybe. But it seems that she might be a therapist for Joel.
Yeah.
Right? Which that character wasn't in the game.
Yeah, this definitely we speculated on it last time. There's no this has to be a therapist. She's setting a timer. They're talking about his feelings.
I do want to...
This is the game.
Ahead.
This is the game.
This is the game.
Literally.
I want a theme park and all you do is just walk around Jackson. It doesn't even need to be a ride unless you're going to ride a horse at the end. Could be a mechanical horse, if they can't get real horses there. But I want to walk this set so bad. It looks so good.
Yeah.
One thing I was
remember farming sim. Need a farming sim.
Come on, Naughty Dog, make it already. I was going to bring up, I do like the first thing, there's a lot of clocks and watches and time talking in The Last of Us. I thought that was cool that they led with setting a timer here. I wonder, obviously, I've never seen a therapist use a timer before with my experience. So what does that mean?
No.
Do you know?
I don't.
Why are they setting a timer, I wonder?
CC in the chat, DTF, down to farm.
Yes.
Woo. Yeah, Game Over Trailer said Wolf Jackson on the game is so beautiful and fleshed out. I'm very excited to see it on the big screen. My experience in therapy, I have not had a timer, but I know they don't have smartphones, so they probably can't
Jeez, you're so smart, Kayla.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go sit in the corner. They don't have cell phones. I should know this. I played the game.
So I think maybe that's how therapists in real life, or so that they're keeping track, because normally the sessions only last a certain amount of time. So since they don't have their phone to look at to make sure they're on time, maybe that's why. I don't know.
You're so smart. I just need to you need to find a new co-host because man, I don't know.
Oh, jerk.
I'm struggling here.
I wouldn't want to talk about Last of Us with anyone else ever.
All right, so we'll get to the scene here where open up and we see Jackson. Oh, it's so good. And you hear So yeah, obviously a good opening. Excited to see all of Jackson. Just, even from the game. And we'll go ahead and preface with this. If you are here, you are a Last of Us fan, you're a video game fan, you're probably okay with spoilers. We might get into spoiler territory here in a moment, but we'll try. I will definitely put up a warning if I'm about to say a spoiler. Kayla, are you gonna say a warning just before you go to? But we will say, hey, we're about to talk about this. Just saying, you can talk about the spoilers, Kayla. We can do this. We just have to put up.
Yeah.
About talk about it.
Yeah.
I already forgot what I was gonna say.
Obviously, this is also going to pretty much spoil season 1, but we'll definitely talk, like, if we're going to be spoiling season, like what we know about what's going to be on season 2. Yes, sure. Okay.
I'm gonna go back in time to see if that thought comes back to me.
Okay, sorry.
No, I started talking. I forgot what I was saying.
Ooh.
It's not coming back to me. I was gonna say something really cool, but I'm just gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go.
Look at that Nirvana poster in the background.
Ah, cool. I don't remember. So I wonder, like, how much, and then I think you see. Trying to read that vinyl behind that box there, the red one. I was like, "Does that say Pearl Jam?" I don't know.
I think
I can't tell. But yeah, I'm curious to see like how much of, you know, in the game, I'm sure with like laws, I don't know, is it copyright stuff, people putting things like what from the real world will we see in the show, you know, like brands, bands.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool.
I remember they in the first season they showed Victoria's Secret, didn't they?
Yeah,
like,
they did. I forgot.
Or something.
Yeah, go
something
call
like that. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Man, I wish I remember what I was gonna say. I told you I was gonna let it go, but now I can't. I just can't remember. But whatever.
Maybe it'll come to you.
Yeah.
Let's try something different.
So that's obviously from the first few scenes of the second game, like when Ellie's like shortly after they arrive at Jackson. So that's got to be that scene where he tells her a joke, trying to connect with her. He knows something's up. That was a good scene.
You can't heal something unless you're brave enough to say it out loud.
Before we get into what we see there, I do think it's cool that, you know, they're obviously going to be deviating a little bit from the game, which I'm totally okay with. I'm a big fan when they do that. You know, I like the moments like this that we'll talk about here in a second. That's definitely a part. I want to see that brought to life. But I do think it's cool that, you know, it seems like he's talking to this new character, opening up to her maybe, and we don't even know. We haven't really heard what he's saying. I think at the end we hear a little bit, but it's basically her just asking him questions right now. But in the game, like, he's opening up to Tommy and like telling him this information for the first time. So I think it's fascinating that maybe this character is someone that we get to see Joel find trust in a little bit, or tries to open up more with, because like going back to the first season, like we really got to see like the PTSD that Joel was really trying to like overcome, and like I guess he's having panic attacks and all that. Like in the game, you don't really see some of the obviously the things that he's done, and you know what happened to his daughters, like is reliving those moments, or is causing him to like mentally and physically break down. So I wonder, like, keeping this from Ellie, like just he's like talking to a therapist in Jackson, like it's just we get to see more of his mental health journey through all of this.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to hear what he thinks.
It is cool to think about, because like I do think that like you said, they don't show any of that in the first game, but they definitely showed it in the first season. So I'm excited to see like how that could affect his character and the character dynamics just overall.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
You know, they don't have to worry about gameplay. There's no game to be played in a TV show, so it's nice they are spending a lot of time on just like building the characters we already know so well, like even deeper. But yeah, what do you think about this scene?
It looks perfect.
Also, would love to be here. Take a photo. If this was a theme park, I just want to walk around in these spaces and like take pictures. Like that would be a great pop-up scenario, like in different cities, if they had like little sets set up again. That'd be really cool. I don't know.
I saw and I shared on our Instagram story like clips. Again, like Jerica said, I'm the same way. Like I don't, and we've talked about some of our predictions for the season on a different episode, and like what we would like as far as like deviations, keeping the same. I love stuff like this too, though, where like CC said in the chat, literally shot for shot from the game. Like this moment.
And there's a lot of moments that are just so iconic, you couldn't have it not be brought to life, like shown in another way. I think it's just another artist's interpretation of similar scenes. And I think it's really cool that, you know, we get to hear, because I know Bella plays guitar and sings. So does this chick. I can't remember her actual name. She's like in all these movies now. Great. And then the latest Alien movie, which, by the way, if you like The Last of Us, you should watch the newest Romulus, Alien Romulus. Really good.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you gotta watch that, Kayla. Like ASAP.
It's good.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Okay, cool.
I really enjoyed
Isabella
that movie.
Merced.
Thank you. That's
Thank
it.
you, Cece.
Because she's in Alien.
Oh, okay, cool. She looks. This looks really good. Like she looks like a great Dina for sure.
Agreed. And I hope Dina's another one of those characters they sort of go further with and see some backstory, because all we know like is Dina's sister died, like family's died. She was with her sister at some point. She has a picture of her somewhere. I forget when that's like brought up. And yeah, we don't really know how she got to Jackson. Like,
yeah,
man, I'd like to definitely see that as well.
They might give us a little flashback episode or a peek.
Yeah.
Say the thing you're afraid to say.
Man, that's so sad. Because if this is the moment at the end of the game, you know, that scene. Question for you, Kayla. Do you think, because, you know, like with the game, a lot of flashbacks back and forth here and there. You don't really know when things are happening sometimes or how long ago. I mean, you get some answers, but do you think they go more, when we've talked about this on other episodes, do you think they should go in chronological order? Or do you think they might still lean on flashbacks with this new season? Specifically around Joel and Ellie, maybe, you know?
Here's the thing. We
can get in spoiler territory if you'd like from the game.
Yeah, I think it'll be hard for me to explain how I feel without like a little bit of a spoiler warning. Hold on. Spoiler warning. Oh,
I
mistyped. Oh well.
I think it's fine.
Oh well.
Juanita.
I'll just leave it up for at least 10 minutes. Juanita. So I think I have mixed feelings. Like, I think that when you do flashbacks, especially like they do them in the game, which I think it looks really well. It's very common in TV and in movies to do flashbacks. I'm with Joel and Ellie specifically. I think it would be really cool to go in chronological order because as the gamers, it's not something we've really seen before.
Yeah.
And it gives them the opportunity to expand on a couple more things, like seeing it a little bit more in depth. And it could lend in favor of like how, like for example, like with when we introduced Abby, like it could. But here's the thing. I also love how the game opens up with the way that it opens and the shock value that you get when, I mean, you remember me and you talking.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh yeah, this Abby chick, like, she's so cool. Like, I don't know what she's doing here.
That was Kayla's words, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I'm
she
like,
seems
I don't know
cool.
Yeah. And Jericho's like,
all right, brace yourselves.
So I think that, I don't know exactly what I want. How do you feel? Because I think that it could be cool to see it in chronological because we've never gotten to experience it that way before. But also, I think the emotional impact of doing it the way that they did it in the game with the flashbacks throughout is powerful as well.
I do think it would be, you know, I don't know when they decide to, you know, with Joel. I don't know when he decides to. When that happens in the show, I don't know. I really couldn't guess. I think it's still going to be like fairly early in the season. I think we're only having like 6 episodes or 7 episodes for season 2.
I'll look it up to double check.
But I definitely think that's a big story plot in this season for sure. And I think it's earlier rather than sooner. And I think for this scene specifically, because this is him, you know, waiting for Ellie to come back from the dance, and you know what happens at the dance, the altercation between him and I forget that guy's name.
7 episodes.
You know, the guy getting all mad at Dina and Ellie for being too close and dancing, kissing and stuff. And like Joel like defends Ellie and they get in a fight. Which there's obviously more, there's deeper things there. So,
Yeah.
but after the dance, like she walks over and hangs out with him a little bit and they talk. And they she finally opens up to saying, hey, I really want to work with you and try to forgive you. Like, I want to try. I think that being able to see that right after that moment at the beginning has a lot more of an impact on when the bad thing happens to him next, right? I think as for viewers and gamers, a little different. With viewers, I think you gotta really see that connection, that obviously there's some issues with Joel and what he did, and you want to understand like why Ellie's upset with him. But at the end of the day, like you got to see Ellie start to open up and like want to try to learn to like love him again. And then just knowing like that comes next, and knowing Ellie just forgave him and he just got taken away from her, like would put me as a viewer in the same seat as I would when I was playing the game, you know, and like starting to see, which we didn't get that till the very end, but you know, it just adds to that. Oh, I don't want this chick, this Abby gal, to get away with this. So anyways,
man. Yeah, I think it's important to do it.
Oh,
Jesse!
There's Jesse. Man, that dude, he's ripped.
He's thick.
He's thick sandwich.
Yeah.
Is that what they say? He's looking good.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Okay. Dang. Yeah, this is Jesse. He looks great. I cannot wait to hear him talk and speak like Jesse. I hope he has like a similar, because like Jesse's got like a little bit of a country twang. I don't know what you call that, but he's not like super country, but you can tell he's just out in the Midwest. Is that the Midwest?
Yeah.
Is Jackson Midwest? I don't know my
Pacific Northwest?
Geography. Somewhere over there.
It's in Washington, right? I mean...
Oh, they're in Wyoming, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Thick sandwich. I'm so glad I was there.
Has anyone... This is also the first shot we've ever got. Like, this is the first time we've seen him, right? Like, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like...
we knew he was cast, but we hadn't seen him yet.
Like, like in his costume.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see that dynamic with them, all three of them.
Really quick before I lose my train of thought.
Okay.
Back, just a tiny bit back to what we were talking about with the moment with Joel. I love how we're still avoiding spoilers, even though we
I know.
I
just feel like I'm just saying the Lord's name in vain by saying what happens in that game at the very beginning of the second game.
I'm making a prediction.
Okay.
I think that it will either happen in the first or the last episode.
Yeah, that's
I don't think there's any
in between. I agree. I wish we could bet against it. I guess one of us should pick.
Let's do a poll.
Can we do a poll?
Yes.
We only got 3 folks in here, so we'll see what happens. This can be down a nail biter here. But I am curious.
I think if I had to guess, I think at the very end of the first episode.
Me and you should pick. Okay, so you say that. I'm going to go with it's going to happen at the end. Just because I like betting.
Yeah. What are we betting?
I don't know. Have you ever been to Culver's? Yeah. You're I was just throwing that out there because I haven't. You know what I'm talking about? That restaurant?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We have one. There's one down the street. Did you know that?
Really? No.
I'm pretty sure there is. I know. Just hold on a second, because I was like, we should bet one of their milkshakes, or they call it like a cement mixer. I think that was called.
What?
Culver's.
Oh, because isn't that place where they hold it upside down?
Yeah, and it doesn't like it's so thick. It's just like cement. Yeah. Like they're it's like all it's custard, frozen custard, and you get you put whatever you want. Whoever wins has to buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have one vote for last episode.
All right.
I'm voting for the first episode.
I've just been wanting to try one of those milkshakes, Kayla.
Let's do it.
They look
I'm
so
down.
good.
Sorry to derail us, but this is important. I feel strongly about the fact that I think it will either be the first or the last. I don't think they'll do it like in the middle.
I don't think so either. It's got to be I think it does have to have some shot value. So either a cliffhanger, oh, I gotta wait till next season, or it happens at the beginning. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta see what happens next. Like, I agree.
All right, let's see what happens next.
Oh yeah, Digital Foundry did put out Game Over Cello's like the differences on The Last of Us 2, how it looks on PS5 Pro versus the regular one, and I was like, oh yeah, it does look a little bit better. Wow, I didn't think that game could look even better.
Neither did I.
Say it out loud, no matter what it is, no matter how bad.
And so like you can hear the therapist saying like, say it out loud, no matter how bad or whatever, just say it out loud. So I guess like he's trying to figure out like how to cope with what he did, and it's just so cool because you don't get that in the game. We don't really talk about what he did. He just tells Tommy, and Tommy's like, I'll take it to the grave if I have to. I think that's exactly what he says. I just like how he says that line. So it's cool to see where Joel is conflicted about it. You know, it's not like he would do it all over again. He says that, but like there's a part of him that has to like feel bad, and he can't even tell Ellie, you know. I can't wait to see that struggle that he has.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the sink, like wonder what's happening there. Why Ellie got cut cleaning a wound.
Yeah.
I can't catch that scene again.
What did Oh, isn't it? Didn't we figure out the trick? Is it T that goes like frame by frame? Wasn't there like a?
Okay, it's not. Is it T? Nope.
Oh.
Spacebar. Okay. I'm just gonna drive this on the keyboard.
Clicker.
Okay, let's go back a little bit. We're getting excited. I'm getting excited. Switchblade looks good. What's happening here? I don't remember there being like there seems to be an attack or something's attacking Jackson. I don't really remember that being a part of it.
Do you think this is the same scene where all the people are running towards the wall? Remember that from the teaser?
Yeah, it has to be. I'm excited because I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess this is like either in the grocery store when they first leave Jackson. I think that's maybe, I mean, this could be any kind of warehouse, but I'm trying to think like where this is taking place because you got the stalker sneaking up on Ellie. Ooh, I don't like that. It's like the Ring Girl. Like she's coming out the TV, you know? Ooh.
Yeah.
Look at the fungus.
It looks so good though.
And she's like, what did you do?
And I guess that's where you get that's where you get the reveal of what he. Well, no, because we already know as the viewers. But
they did such a good job though on that cut because like, what did you do? And that's when we first see Abby. You know, so good. Steep.
What did you do?
Killed my daddy. Oh, I didn't put a spoiler up there. You've been warned. Anyways.
These people know.
Our first look at Abby. How cool.
She looks so good.
Yeah. You know, obviously some people are still pissed off because, you know, she's not a beefcake. A thick, what'd I say? Thick sandwich, unfortunately.
Thick sandwich.
But I do think Caitlin's going to be able to really nail the performance. Like, just a really good actress. So I'm excited to see her bring the anger and frustration to the screen and be Abby. I think that'll make up for the fact that she's not super duper muscular. Hey, scrawny folks like us, you know,
representation.
We don't have muscles, but like, I mean, we could get somebody. Like, I'm really good at biting ankles. Like, I can fall to the floor so fast and bite some ankles. Scrappy
do in the house,
you know.
And she's in front of a grave already.
You know, I just thought though, like, who's to say couldn't get a little ripped by the time they do the next season, you know? And maybe we're not seeing that much of Abby swole yet. Like,
who knows?
Maybe keeping a jacket on the whole season, you know? Because most of the time this part of the story, very cold. But then next season, give this chick like a year, do a few push-ups, bam.
Who knows?
Maybe that's the game plan. I won't judge if there's no muscles. You know, no judgment.
Oh, what is going on?
No One Will Save You was a phenomenal movie. You need to watch that. Add that to your list too.
I still haven't seen that either yet. I did watch Caitlin Dever in Unbreakable.
Yes.
Unbreakable.
Yes.
And she was amazing in that.
Yeah.
Play Along Pod. Thanks for being in the chat. So excited for this. We definitely are excited for this. Also, like, where is this scene from? We don't have this scene. She's in front of what we presume, spoiler, to be her like dad's grave.
Yeah.
But who's she looking at? Like, is she turning around to look at someone? Like, what is she looking at? Is that a necklace around the cross? God. Like, I'm curious what's going on here exactly.
I can't wait to hear her talk and be Abby. I can't wait to experience it.
Me too.
It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is that scene.
Yeah. See, like the coat's hiding the muscles for next season, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But maybe
this is cool.
Yeah, what if they, you know, we're getting into what ifs instead of what we're actually analyzing here, but like, you know, the horde of the clickers coming into Jackson, like, what if Abby gets stuck with this horde, and instead of how they get sort of found by Joel and Tommy, what if they come to realize they get into Jackson instead? Like, I wonder how much they could deviate from how Abby finds Joel, you know?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And they're maybe running for safety to Jackson. I don't know how much Neil and, you know, obviously with Craig, like, they have a good relationship. They trust each other. I just wonder how much they like, hey, if you could tell this differently, would you do it differently? I just wonder how many of those conversations they've had. Like, yeah, like, what if it goes down, like, in town? Like, that could be, I don't know. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, I am absolutely fine, you know, with it happening in a similar fashion, but in a different location. Or maybe they meet in Jackson, and then down the road, maybe they build like some trust with them, and then they're like, hey, we gotta go find the rest of our group. Like, if it's just Abby or Owen, whoever makes it into Jackson, and then this is all just coming to me right now in this moment. Mm-hmm. And they're like, we got our friends are like up in the cabin, and like Joel and Tommy like to escort them, and then like they don't come back.
Oh,
I don't know how that like expands on story at all. Like, writers probably could write. Writers can write and tell us. Anyways,
because it definitely looks like there's some sort of like attack on Jackson. In a way. They're like, I wonder almost if like Abby and her crew, like, they take them in, maybe at least even temporarily. Who knows?
Could be.
It could be the same, but like in a different location. I think that's always.
I don't know. Or that could be. That could be a flashback. Who knows? I'm
gonna make CC's the spoiler wall. There we go.
What is it?
I pinned CC's comment for the spoiler wall.
Yeah, good. Because we're just gonna go in.
Yeah.
Ooh. Whew.
Okay, whose gun was that?
It's gotta be Joel, right? Because I think that's who saves her first. Yeah, I think Joel and Tommy. That's sort of like, I don't know. Maybe they don't go into Jackson. I don't know. Like, who's running on the horses here? Can't tell. Like, it's still Jackson. There seems to be like there's two people on that first horse. I haven't analyzed this hard right now. Like, there's two people on both horses, maybe? Yeah.
Can you zoom in on you two?
Let me see. I don't know if there's an easy way to do this, but...
The Z button?
Does the Z zoom? No.
I don't know. It's okay. I think you're right, though.
There's definitely two people on that first horse.
Yeah.
First look at the Seraphites, so...
Yeah. Feel her love.
And, you know, obviously with the trailer, people that haven't played the game will think, oh, these are the bad people. That's what's exciting. And they are, you know, they're not great people.
No.
Just sort of cult-like activities happening, but you know, this is a very eerie introduction to them that they'll all be a you know, at this point we get sort of further into the story if Ellie's encountering these people. So
it is interesting. And also, like, do we get Yara and Lev, because they technically haven't been cast, right?
True.
Like, we don't know.
I sort of didn't think about that.
Yeah,
but you're right. Like, you know,
'cause
little scene here. Ellie and Dina are somewhere. It's probably Dina. I think that's Dina behind her.
because that could take up a lot of time if you delve into their story. You know,
I don't think they do it this
want to
season.
invest
I don't think
that?
they. I don't think they do it.
Yeah.
I don't think they do it. I think maybe it's like an introduction, but we don't meet those characters. Like, I'm starting to believe the fact that, you know, Caitlin might be like, watch me get thick. Because, like, imagine seeing the introduction of those two characters similar to the trailer when you first saw Abby, where Abby's like being hung upside down. I think actually, like, she's being hanged by like it was the Seraphites, right? That found them.
Yeah,
and
it
like
was.
they break one of the arms. I forget, it was like, I can't remember. I get there. Lev was shooting the bow. Yep. And then the chick was like got the hammer to the arms. That was a brutal trailer.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe that's when we are introduced to those characters, like at that time, because that's almost like a flash, not a flash forward, but that's after Abby gets separated from her group.
Wait a second. Yara and Lev were casted.
Were they?
No.
I don't think so. Or were they?
I think people were just saying that they really hope that they cast the actual voice actors.
Okay.
Because it's Ian Alexander that plays Lev, and then Victoria Grace that does Yara. So they were hoping that it was actually them. Okay, no, not official. Sorry. Play Along Pod asked in the chat, do we think season 2 wraps up the entire second game? We talked about in our last episode that Neil did confirm that it will not actually do that.
Yeah, I think they did it. And I think there was another recent interview too with Craig saying like, yeah, we're going to hopefully do multiple seasons with this one. It could be 2. It could be, I'm sure it could be 3. Like they have enough stuff.
I just know they said there's no way they can fit it in this one.
Yeah.
So, I love the Colts to the Seraphite story. Yeah. I would love that separately too.
Who's this getting dragged by the horse?
I don't know.
They fell off the horse. Now they're getting dragged. That's a sucky situation. I never want to be there.
No.
You know, that's scary. Someone got it. What's happening here? I don't remember this in the game. What's this guy? This guy's got like is this I would assume, since their head shaved, a Seraphite maybe.
Is that Lev like in the blur? No. What's this guy? I forget. What's his name?
I forget his name. But it's the same voice or same actor in the game.
Yes.
He's in Westworld too.
He's the mayor guy.
He's like the leader of the Washington Liberation Front. Like Abby's group that she joins after what goes down with the
wolf leader. Yeah.
Yeah, like she leaves the Fireflies and connects with this group. Yeah, the wolf leader.
Yes. Ooh.
Yeah, there's all those clickers. That has to be Tommy, Dina, and Ellie. Has to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, people burning.
What's happening here? And I keep forgetting. Can you believe that Maria's pregnant? And that's not that's not in the game. That doesn't happen in the game.
Yeah. Don't know what's gonna happen with that.
They're obviously their characters in the show are a little bit younger too. So it's going to be really cool to see, like, for real, like, with what Tommy ends up doing and the ramifications of what he does, like, knowing that he has a kid that he has to come back to or, like, live for now. Like, whole other challenge. And, Maria's going to be pissed.
Unless something happens to them, which I hope it doesn't, but these people
Maria's going to be
ruthless.
like, please don't go after them. to both Ellie and him, and they're both gonna go because they're little shits and don't listen. And
Yeah.
Damn it.
Vengeance. Play along pod said the horde hitting the wall gives me big Game of Thrones vibes. It definitely does. I can see that for sure.
Here's Ellie with a gun again.
An assault rifle.
Assault rifle. Yeah.
Wasted bandwidth. Hello.
Howdy.
Welcome. Interesting.
So breaking down this trailer, we put out a warning. We are talking about the game, spoilers too here.
Yes.
But it also ended a fun place. We watch this trailer and we still we're gonna still be surprised by the show.
Yeah.
There's stuff we don't know that's gonna happen.
Yeah. We're gonna be thinking about our predictions and laugh at each other. Be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we thought that. Haha.
God. I'm just so excited to see how they handle Maria and Tommy having a baby. That's a whole other thing. I'm just like, oh, I keep forgetting about it. When I remember, I get really excited. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Because remind me, how much time passes? We talked about this last time too, but between the end of the first game and the beginning of the second game,
I think it's 5 years.
Yeah,
5 or 6 years.
The kid would be older.
Yeah.
So what does that look like?
Oh, thanks. Oh, the sub icon's hidden. I think I can't see my notifications. Can you see them?
Either. Game Over Cholo gifted a sub to play along pod.
Thank you.
Very sweet. We love it.
I gotta make sure the thing doesn't get hidden, the alert box. Let me bring that to the top.
Yeah. I am very curious what that means because like we said, time passes, many things could happen in those 5-ish years. I do think that again, 5 years isn't a ton of time, so you're not necessarily gonna age, but Ellie does still look young, which is fine. I don't think there's any problem with that. It almost makes it more eerie that she looks young with some of the stuff like this
in the game
that you're watching.
Well, in the game, I think Ellie in the game at times appears to look older because of the wear and tear
shit she's been through.
Yeah. Because in the game, I mean, Bella and Ellie now are practically the same age. So yeah.
Thanks for joining Game Over Cholo. Enjoy the gym. And thank you for the gifted subs again. That was very sweet.
Become a thick sandwich.
Thick sandwich.
We're all going to be thick sandwiches for season 2 of The Last of Us, or season 3. That's when we're going to take off our winter coats.
Thick crying sandwich is what I'm going to be.
I almost sound like I was shedding. Because no one calls coat. It's always a winter coat. You're not wearing a coat any other time.
That's true.
I don't know. Anywho, let's keep it going. We don't have much trailer left here.
Ooh,
was cool.
What is this?
Go back a little bit. I think this WLF folks breaking in. Ellie trying to fight them off. Subway. Subway.
Ooh. Dang, that's a good scene. Remember this?
I still don't know what's happening here. Is this...
Oh, you press the comma key and the comma goes back one frame, and then the period goes forward.
Oh my god! Oh, you're the best.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
I looked it up.
Thank you. Oh, there's
Dina.
Dina. Yeah, what's happening here?
Yeah, I know we speculated last time that we thought it was a nightmare. Or it's right after, during the procedure stuff. Maybe it's a flashback.
Yo, this chick right here, though, has went through it. The last few things she's been in. With Alien Romulus and then this. Very two easy roles probably to go back and forth from, Because it's the same level of scary.
I bet.
Shit my pants and run. I don't know what's happening here. Is this after the thing happens and because Ellie got beat up too, knocked out, so maybe this
but she doesn't look like she has the bandage around her, but she doesn't look like super hurt right there, you know?
I
mean,
know.
mentally, yes.
Yes, like something devastating's happened. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, she
Who's
knows
that? That looks like a dude.
that that is some dude. Tommy?
That's a dude.
I feel like I don't know. Jeez. And Joel's crying. It's gonna be such a that tear. Just
A paid actor. The tear.
man, you know, like he doesn't cry when he's telling it to Tommy like this. So like he's feeling the burden of what he's done. You know, I wonder like we get to see a part of Joel that really sort of regrets. I mean, I know he never says he'll do it all over again. Like that's a line. But like I just don't know if that's something he can actually say, that maybe he does regret it to some extent, because that ultimately made it that's not what Ellie wanted. But he, I know, yeah, it's just just hitting a wall with the right thing to do. But I do like seeing Joel, like, I like seeing Joel sad. But I like seeing him.
The guilt is there for sure.
Feeling
You're right.
it.
The long pot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's all we get. Teacher played the guitar. Oh. Still don't have a date, 2025, so I'm
literally about to cry right now.
It's so sad. Oh man. But yeah, I'm really excited to see I'm ready to see all of it. At this point, to be honest, like I'm just glad we got to see glimpses of the characters, like some of the new characters, and glimpses of some of the scenes, environments we'll see, and what it's going to look like. But at this point, I don't need to see anymore.
Neither do I.
I want to be surprised with things I don't expect, and I'm cool with deviations. I'm cool with little things like that we didn't get in the game. That just if it adds to the character, I'm a fan, and I think that's what they've done with season 1, and I think they'll, if not do a little bit more with this, and just knowing there's only, what did we say, 6 or 7 episodes? I don't remember what you said.
7.
With 7 episodes versus we had 9. So it's 2 less. That's, I mean, still, the episodes could be long though. I don't know.
They could. I don't know. Yeah, my only concern is, and I trust the process. The first season was so well done that like I know it'll be good. My worry, and again, spoiler wall. I really am curious how they'll embody the way that the game makes you feel with the POV switch.
Yeah.
Like that's one of my favorite parts of the game, is how polarizing that is, like to play and to experience. I'm just wondering how you embody that like feeling that you get by doing that, and like having to like play as the main antagonist, and then in turn end up being also like an antagonist yourself. Like how are they going to make the viewer feel that? And I'm sure they're going to be able to. I'm just curious like how it's going to work. Like what is that going to look like? How do you feel about that?
I've thought about it a lot. Like whenever we're about to do an episode or something, a news article comes out about the next season, I just start thinking like, how are they going to handle that? And the more I think on it, though, I do think they got to do it different for TV, because like it just,
of course,
they got to. And I'm just like, what do you do? I'm not a writer, but like, what do you do to make people sort of feel the tension, and also like the point where you just want to throw down something because you're like, stop doing that, character, stop doing that, it's dumb. And I think it's really they're gonna, I hope they like sort of tell perspectives at the same time, to be honest. I think you're never gonna want to root for one or the other. Like you might start rooting for Ellie at the beginning, but when you start seeing the backstory Abby has a little sooner, I think it's gonna be just a constant push and pull with like who you're rooting for or who you side with, and then at the end you're just like, this is so sad, they both just need to stop. So I don't know, like I think they sort of, maybe I think they lead with us really, obviously a lot of us are probably gonna hate Abby at the beginning.
Yeah.
Not hate, like, but you know what I mean, gamers. I don't mean like the for real hate. Like, I love the game. I love that that's the story. But I will say, like, for viewers like us really think Abby's the worst person ever. But based on how they're having Joel like talk through what he did, like, it sounds like they're giving viewers sort of they're putting
behind the curtain almost.
That under the microscope more. Like, in the game, you don't really examine like what Joel did, killed, like, murdered all these people to save Ellie. Like, it's a horrible thing, and I think it's so bad. Like, and you don't really realize. After watching the last episode last season, was the first time I really like it being shown like that. I was like, man, that's we did it in the game, and it is a game because you're controlling Joel, and so it's a game. Even though you got a gun in a game, that'd be a whole other topic. But like, you're still playing a game, and it's like, oh, these guys are trying to kill me. Let me shoot them. But in a show, you're sort of like you have to observe what's happening, and you don't control it. And then when that's happening, I want to just stop the character because I'm like, this isn't the right route. So
but what's crazy is in the game, like, you can't look away. You know what I mean? Whereas like in the show, you can look away. Yeah. But in the game, you can't look away. You know,
or you could just run away, but you keep losing.
You could.
You're like forced to kill these folks, but it's gamified still.
Yeah.
I think they sort of tell at the same time. Like, I think they'll give us a little bit more. They lead with more of the struggle between Joel and Ellie, and then her forgiving him, and then he gets, and then you're like, oh my God, I hate this girl. But that's before it's revealed, like, what has happened, why she's,
of course,
murdered Joel. So
yeah. Play Along Pod agrees in the chat and says, I think perspective happening at the same time would make a lot of sense. Almost like we have two main characters that are being followed throughout the narrative. Yeah, I think so for sure. I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. No, you go. You please go.
My last thing was, I was going to say, I think, like, when we're talking about, like, the way that Joel is perceived differently in the first season and what seems like it's going to be the second season, it almost is like in the game, Ellie is the main character. But I almost feel like in the show, it's more equally yoked, like where it's like Ellie and Joel together as a unit. And so I think that, like, we're seeing more of like the implications of what that means to, like, follow him as a main character and not just Ellie.
Oh, that was it. So smart. That's it. You summarized what I've been trying to say. Yes, I think that's gonna make us feel a little bit different when we watch season 2. So I have one last question before we wrap it up, if that's cool. You have any other closing statements before we?
I mean, I've said this so much. We both have. I'm so excited.
I can't wait to watch it.
I just can't wait. I'm gonna be devastated, but I can't wait at the same time.
CC said thick brain, Kayla. Kayla's got a thick brain. I'll ask the chat. We all know what happens in the game. Do you think it's still a golf club? Or do we change what the item is?
No, you can't.
Do you think it's still got to be a golf club?
It has to be a golf club.
Man.
I don't think you can change it. I think they know that it's a pickleball. I
wonder if it's
a pickleball club thing.
Soccer ball. Just multiple times, like at least 1,000 soccer ball hits to the face. Yeah. That would work eventually. You know, I also think it's still a golf club too.
Yeah.
But for her character, I could see it being done in a different way. And, you know, it's also going to probably be in a more brutal way, knowing how Neil likes to work and Craig isn't afraid to make us feel something. Ugh. Just real, just real vicious.
Yeah.
I like how I'm talking about. Audrey would be like, stop talking about it.
Well, we put the spoiler up, guys. We're almost done.
She would just say stop. She just never wants to revisit that scene. I like talking about it, and she's just like, yeah, I'm good. You don't have to keep talking about it. And I'll like pull, like if I ever replay it, I'm like, you ready to watch the scene again? It took me a while to get there because like the first time I played, I was just like, I was scared of stairs for a really long time. Like just looking downstairs and seeing a door, and how quiet it is when Ellie walks downstairs is just like, hurts. Anyways.
And can you imagine that happening in Jackson if that's what they do.
Like that's where I'm starting to go back on it though, because I don't know if that could be where it happens. So I think it has to be somewhere where Abby or where Joel can't get help, because like, you know, if there's other people around, they're gonna be able to save him. It's got to be somewhere that he's isolated.
You're right.
I don't think maybe he doesn't have Tommy with him this time though. You know?
Yeah. That's true.
I don't know.
Play Along Pod said, I think so too. Something personal and visceral to really show off Abby's anger. Yeah, I mean, it definitely has to be like brutal, because that's the whole point, right?
I do like field hockey stick. Yeah, wasted bandwidth just to mess with gamers, make them mad. And like, now you can't just use memes about golf clubs. You got to throw something else in there.
Yeah. Play Along Pod said, it's been 4 years since I've played The Last of Us 2, and I've never not go
Can't
back
go down
since.
those stairs again. Did it once, won't do it again.
Yeah.
All right.
Season 2 trailer drop. Hi, welcome. And you're here at the very end, but yes, Billy the Brewer.
We are finally talking about the teaser from The Last of Us Day. We keep calling it the trailer because it was actually like 2 minutes long, but it technically says teaser. Yeah, we're still talking about. If you thought we were announcing, hey, there was a new trailer, there's not. We're talking one from like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks now.
But if you haven't seen this, like if you're like, oh, what is this? Yeah, this is like it's marketed as a teaser, but it's longer than the actual like 30-second thing that they put before.
There's some good stuff in it.
House of the Dragon. It's new to me. Okay,
God,
great. Yeah.
Well,
you should rewind and first you should watch it on your own, raw.
Yeah.
And then you should go back and watch this. As long as you've played the game. If you haven't played the game, don't listen to our earlier part of this episode.
Yeah, we get into spoilers here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Wow.
We did it.
Jericho.
How long did we... And we might have talked about the 23-second trailer just as long. So we did really good this time.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. We really did. I haven't played it. Too scary. Okay.
Okay, yeah. You may... we spoil it, so be careful. Maybe not go back. Just watch the trailer, though. If the trailer's good enough, that's all you need to watch.
I need to tell you that I hear you, that it's scary, but if you watch the season and you love it, you need to play the game. You need to also play the game.
Just play on easy, so the scary stuff's not as scary.
Yeah.
Nothing shame. You shouldn't be ashamed of that. I definitely turned it down on super easy when I went back to do the platinum because I didn't want to feel that stress anymore. You know,
it is scary.
It is, yeah.
Season game.
Yeah.
Play Along Pod said, "Are you going to go back and play The Last of Us 2 before season 2 comes out?"
Oh, I'm definitely on the PS5 Pro, baby. Thanks to Dallas, I got my 30th anniversary version coming. That was me getting excited because I'm like, I'm gonna play it again. Definitely stream that. As long as nothing else big comes out before this season comes out, which we talked about it. I think it's definitely probably February, March-ish time frame. So hopefully there's not a big game coming out, but 2025 is hefty. We'll talk about that on the next episode. We should talk about all the games also coming next year, what we're playing for the rest of the year and what's coming next year. We got to do that at some point. There are so many games.
So many.
To answer your question, yes, I will stream it and play it again.
I think I'm going to play it again, too.
It's been long enough now.
It has. And I want to be able to react, immediately to what is... because me and Jericho, if you didn't watch or listen to the first season of ClickerBait, we go episode by episode and, do a full breakdown of what we think. So we are going to do that with this season. So I want to be able to have it fresh of mind.
Totally. Go find ClickerBait on where you get your podcasts. Go and subscribe to that show because it's different from jkgames podcast. They're ClickerBait's own episode. That way, when the episodes come out, we'll be right off on its coattails with an episode talking about what happened and what we think. Yeah, that was a horse sound. I said, that's a host sound, but I meant to say horse. I don't know if that's a host sound, though.
Whatever tickles your fancy, whichever. It's...
Oh, yeah.
Woo! CC said Assassin's Creed Shadows in February.
Oh, yeah, that got delayed. You're right. Oh. Well, maybe March.
2025 is going to be big. Ooh, maybe new Nintendo console.
So many things. Oh, it's a good time. Everybody's trying to
Time
figure
to
out
begin.
when Grand Theft Auto is coming out. I think that's the thing right now, because everybody's like, when is
Yeah.
that shit dropping? Where is that bitch gonna land? Because I don't want to be near it. you know?
Is it supposed to be? It's supposed to be next year, right?
It's supposed to be next year, but I guarantee like
Allegedly.
it gets pushed. If it gets, I bet definitely summer was like the hopes and dreams for it. But if it pushes towards holiday and then to the next year, I won't be surprised.
I mean, it would probably do so well as like a Christmas game, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like for who knows? Everything drops in February. Bill the Brewer says, "I bet it gets pushed 2026."
Yeah,
We'll see.
I could see that happening too.
Definitely could. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah, thank you guys for sticking around. Definitely follow us on socials. Got to do a little plug at the end since it's been a while. JK Games Podcast on
Will
everything.
say also, we will be doing the next episode of JK Games very soon.
Yes.
I'm gonna be sharing what I got planned at least in November as well, since I'll be more available to do stuff like this. It's got a few plans there, and then Kayla will just need to recap and talk even more about games because we've been doing that here. So can't wait to do that episode with you.
Yes.
figure
Very
that out
exciting
soon.
things coming for us. Follow Jerica at Jericachu on all of her stuff too. And then we'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you guys for being active in the chat.
Yes. Goodbye. Until next time.
Bye.
Meow, 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 meow.